Hey Capricorn seekers, welcome to Virgo season. This will be a reading for September. I am working with the Morgan Greer Tarot. Capricorn. Capricorn. Too many cards. Capricorn. The Strength card. Okay, let's talk about it. When a few years ago, I partook in an ayahuasca ceremony. I took ayahuasca. And before that, before ayahuasca, was really enamored by the thought of existing without any boundaries. How we all are to be merged in one unified light existence with no separation and no physical boundaries. Ah, it's a dominant aspiration and mystification, of the other dimensions of world without boundaries. How beautiful will it be? Kumbaya. I was very genuine with my, with these, I don't know, thoughts, ideas. And then I did ayahuasca. Now, any of you who have done ayahuasca, you know that Mother Aya is quite the brilliant educator. Bear with me, there's a reason why I'm talking about this in regards to the Strength card. I know most people don't know this about the Strength card, but I do, so I'm going to teach you. Let's do this. So, I went into the ayahuasca experience, and Aya gave me exactly what I wanted. An absolute, obsolete experience of no boundaries. What do I mean? I walked on the floor, but I didn't feel a floor. I knew I am a self, but I didn't know in where do I begin and where do I end, and how is this plant there any different than me? And when you hear me talking, it sounds very loving and magical, right? Right. It's one thing to think something, and it's one thing to be or go through something. I remember looking at the box that I had right in front of me on the floor, and it had a lid, and I kept opening and closing it and opening and closing it. And the reason why I kept doing that for probably a very long time is because, wow, there's no difference. Closed is open and open is closed. I couldn't tell the difference between the closed box and the open box because it wasn't closed. It couldn't be open because it couldn't be closed in the first place. Everything was just a goo of floating molecules and atoms and energy swirling into one another. And who am I in it? Is there an I? Will this ever end? And then it also started to be experienced as there's no beginning and no ending. Hence, this experience that I'm going through right now is eternal. This will never end. I will forever and ever be floating in a no boundary existence. And I was drop dead mortified for a good few hours. Now, that was a portion of my experience. I've had other experience within that experience. I don't want to scare you off of ayahuasca. It is a profound experience. But when I snapped out of it, you want to say, or the influence waned out, I found myself sitting next to a wall in the room that I was in, and I clung to that wall like I'm hugging it. I'm not kidding. it, some people want to call me tree huggers. You can call me a wall hugger. I hugged that wall with so much love and appreciation and gratitude for its existence. It made me feel so so safe, and so much of a self. I had a self in relation to that wall. I had a relation, I had an existence. I had a beginning and an ending and a containment to me. And I felt whole again. Ironically enough, in this existence of fragmentation, I felt whole. Separated from everything, I felt unified. And it's that place when I understood what we're doing here. I got it. We are fetus like of a soul that isn't currently ready to face infinity and the other dimensions without physical boundaries. It's like you take a fetus out of its womb in its second or third month, it will die. It doesn't have the tools, the experience, the stamina, the comprehension. It doesn't have anything that can sustain it outside of this protective womb that gives it life and builds it and makes it ready until it is finally ready to be born and exist as an individual. And that is when I realized that we are all here on this planet just tiny little inexperienced baby fetuses that are being hugged and nourished and protected and taught and trained by earth, by elements, by matter, by separation, by boundaries. Now, and it's good that we're here. It's good. It's not a bad thing. It's not a curse. It's not, why don't we get to experience the magical infinity? We will. We need some, 9 months in the womb at least. A few lifetimes, you know. We need to get it first. It's okay. This is a loving, terrifying experience that would be even way more terrifying if the way we are right now will just be out and about in the plasma or in the ether. Okay? All right. Now, why am I talking about all of this in reference to you or in reference to the Strength card? Because the Strength card talks about those boundaries, those physical boundaries of the material world that gives us our power, helps us sustain our power and grow our power. It is when we look within into our inside of the self, of the instincts, of the desires, of the earthly, worldly, physical aspects of ourselves, not outside. And we honor our boundaries, our body, our desires. And we contain ourselves and control these aspects by acknowledging them and honoring them and helping them grow within these boundaries. It's a very powerful card, right? It's also falling in love with the self. I fell in love with myself, with being a me, amongst other things that I've concluded from that ayahuasca experience. But, you know, Capricorn, your boundaries are not something to shy away from. I know the spiritual community and the world tells you that, you know, you don't need to be that rigid or that earthly or that specific in your system and your dogma. You are the sign of dogma and system and skeleton, right? The wall, the flooring, the cement, the bones of the body, the cement of the ground that we walk on, and the wall that contain us, and the ceiling that protects us. It's okay to be these things. You serve as a very important foundational aspect of life. So instead of trying to break out of it, don't try to break your walls. Hang some paintings. Enjoy them. Thank them when it's raining and cold, or when you want some privacy. And if you're cross-watching, thank your fellow Cappy for setting these protective boundaries to you, for making sure that you don't, jump the gun or hurt yourself. Capricorns, you care about making sure that things are ready to become. You understand that. That's your beauty and your strength, not your weakness and not your shame. Boom. Okay, so Leo season, because it's also the part of Leo, has really showed that to you somehow, either directly or vicariously. It forced you to look into what you have and how it serves you, instead of obsessing over what you don't have and how magical it can be. Now, from there, you can either stick with it or leave it, whatever, but first acknowledge it. I didn't stay in that wall, but I was happy for the existence of walls. Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands. So much fire in this reading. So far, only fire energy. For September. This reading might be relevant from recent August to December, because Sag season is also coming up, but we're focusing on September for this reading. So take it as, the way it applies to you. Something that you have been holding on for or expecting, you're now moving on from it. You stuck through it, and now you're like, I don't know if I still need to stick through it. It seems like it's been something positive, so maybe it's just a matter of, moving on to something else, not as much as ending something bad. It's just stages of existence. The 9 is coming through, of the 9 months of pregnancy. So maybe you have been under a form of initiation, Capricorn, right? Like a fetus in a womb, like human being on the planet. And you're almost there. You've done the significant portion of it. Now it's the 9th month, or the last, almost at the finish line, before you can go to the next level that has either less boundaries or less restrictions. Maybe we're talking about Pluto being in your sign in the last degrees before it's moving on to Aquarius, really liberating you to be ready to be without boundaries. Maybe until now you've been with certain dogmas and boundaries in your life because it was necessary. And something in you knew it, whether you fought it or surrendered to it. It existed for as long as it existed because you needed it. But now I'm seeing the peak, the end of it before the next phase. Show me more, please. Ace of Wands, phenomenal. It's so fitting to this conversation. Like everything I say, a card comes and just solidifies it and kind of brings the next visible thing. So still more fire from 9 of Wands to Ace of Wands. Look at the imagery. So there are 8 wands here, and then there's wands behind him, and he's holding one wand, and then this is the wand that is holding, right? It's like opportunities are coming in, possibilities, potentials. You've been trained well enough to recognize true from false, valid from invalid, being discerning. And you're discerning one specific, unique wand to take with you that serves as your new beginning. This is a new beginning. Something very exciting. You're ready. This is the birth of you being able to allegedly be boundaryless within the analogy that I've given. A new self is birthed out of your old self, and it's very ready. The snake sheds its skin and is growing now a new skin with this Ace of Wands, the star. So this could be new love for some of you. This could be that your soul is finally letting go of all the important boundaries that was very, very of service to you and has strengthened you and has gotten you to the place that you've gotten to. And now your spirit, your soul feels broader and safer and more capable to journey into this new realm or new thing without the protection or without the dogma. You're free. You're free to fall in love with this person. You're free to try and pursue that dream. Maybe you've saved enough money. Maybe you've earned all the knowledge. Maybe you've gained all the experience. Maybe you've given everything you had to give karmically to someone or to someone's. You have 3 8s. Strength card, 8 of Wands, and the star is 17. That's also an 8. So 888, that's like it can also be viewed as a karmic breakthrough, breaking out of it. Ooh. For some of you, this is going to happen as soon as Pluto moves into Aquarius. That will really ignite this. And for some of you, it's already now in September. Tell me more, please, for Capricorn for this coming month about this. 9 of Swords. Something is still holding you. I want to say captive. You are worried. You are anxious. Hope and anxiety imbued together. Something really good beginning, but then something simultaneously very challenging emotionally. Maybe it requires a sacrifice of some sort or letting go of something that you're trying but you can't, you feel obligated to. Maybe some of you are having some weird dreams, like bad dreams that scare the hell out of you. Like something similar to the experience I've had. Six of Wands, but this is like emotional or mental, but in reality you're overcoming it. So many wands. You're defeating it. You're not letting it hold you back. You're looking at it, you're addressing it. This could be shadow work, very high level of shadow work. Like really mastering it, like really knowing how to acknowledge the pain, the fear, the anxiety, while not letting it paralyze you and still doing the acts. I see a victory of some sort. Now, there is success that has to do with something creative, Capricorn. The Empress, very creative, very abundant, something that you're very good at, very gifted at, actually. It's a gift that you have that you can inspire others with and definitely have a lot of fun while doing. There's also a very powerful divine feminine energy coming through, a lot of beauty, a lot of muse, a lot of inspiration, very active sacral chakra and heart chakra. Absolute connection to the elements, to nature. You're really embracing your divine earth. That's amazing. You're embracing the earthly realm, but in the best possible way, in way of magic. Oh. Wow. Okay. Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Hierophant. Wow. There's a long journey ahead of you to which you will require a commitment or be required to commit to. Could be teaching something or learning something. It could it could revolve travel, a move possibly for some of you across the sea. Some of you made a promise to your soul, or maybe it's something that you promised to fulfill in this lifetime, to learn or to teach or both, and you're doing so. You're developing this passion for truth and for philosophy and for faith. Some of you are going on this pilgrimage after what you believe in, or discovering keys to knowledge. You want to know. It's very Sagittarian energy. Maybe some of you have some Sagittarius in your chart a lot, or there's a lot of Earth energy here. There's a Taurus, a Virgo, a Leo, and a Sag. These could be energies. It doesn't have to be people. But faith is coming through very strongly, believing in something. It could be religious, spiritual, philosophical. There's a system though. You wanna build something. It's like you want to, maybe you're writing a syllabus or teaching, but you might have to start on your own for a little bit, or maybe join a group. Some of you are turning your back to an organization, a school, a work environment, culture, or religion to depart on your own and find your own path. Because there's some creativity in you, something different that is, it's your unique inspiration that you want to express, you know? Okay, let's do the existential shift spread. Okay, so these are the major arcanas. Strength, Star, Empress, Hermit, and the Hierophant. Now, if you want to deepen your esoteric, mystical, tarot knowledge, check out the description box. Check out Patreon. There are ways in the description box in which you can deepen your relationship with the existential shift and or reciprocate, show gratitude, whatever works for you. So check it out and see what you want to do. Sorry. Okay. One ace, 1, 2, 2 nines. We have 2 nines and 6, 8. I'm not going to focus on these because they're not repeating, though I am taking note of the fact that there's a lot of fire here. It's actually 3 9s because of the Hermit. In a way, 3 8s. Let's put this here. You're trying to break a very, what's the word? Binding, restricting either connection or a bond or a promise or a contract that you feel you're obligated to. Maybe it's a matter of time. Maybe there's a certain a month or a date of some sort that you're waiting until it becomes until it's not relevant anymore, or you're not, or the contract ends or something like that, or the lease ends, or the divorce papers finally come through, or maybe you put in your notice, but you have to give a few more weeks or a few more months until a certain time. It creates a bit of a pressure on your brain when it comes to what I know, what I see, and like you're in a situation where you can already see the truth of it, but you still have to stay there for whatever reason, and that's hard, but it's temporary, and you're holding on to the hope, to the beauty, to your inner strength, to what you know to be true. You know that it's temporary, and you're holding on, and that gives you energy and hope, and gets you through it. Um, there's so much creativity here. I don't know if you're an artist, a creator, but you have something that is very unique to you that you can bring to the table, that you can create, um, that I think can possibly grow into something bigger that other people will want to learn too, or will want to do with you as well. Like people will follow you for that, but you're going to have to start alone, build it, and they will come. But you have the talent, you have the gift. And I see like a symbol of some sort, a mark, a symbol, a sigil, uh, a signature that is unique to you that you're creating or developing, or that's like this is a symbol that you're recognized outside of the audience by. Um, it's almost like also I see that some of you, like the more you progress in a place, in a relationship, the more you progress in a commitment or at a job or in an organization, it's like the more you feel bound to it, and the more you feel like, okay, I'm getting the status, but I'm losing my sense of individuality and uniqueness. And I feel like I still want to express these things. So it makes you want to break out on your own. You can. For some of you, if you're leaving a place, you might have some people come with you. Not a lot, but just the right people, for those of you that it applies. 3 9s and 3 8s. Mm. This is a lot of energy. You're pouring in a lot of manifestation and work energy, physical energy and physical, energetic and physical, sorry. And it comes to life. Like you can't unsee it. You can't, once it's out, you can't bring it back in. Some of you might be in a situation where one of you is ready. If you're in a relationship, some of you might feel ready to commit or to take it to the next level or to get married, and the other person feels like they're not ready, like they need more time, they need to think about it, they have other things they're considering in life, they don't know if this is what they want. Now, this could be the other way around. Maybe you feel that way. Um, just a little bit of clarification for these two nines for the situation, for Capri's situation in September. Five of Pentacles. Something will end. And then the Sun. Something will end, so something could start. But it's very positive. It feels like shit. Whatever this is that is ending, it's not something that makes the parties involved happy. It might be like a burned bridge, like something that is very hard to come back from, if at all. Like I don't think it's like worst case scenario, this type of ending. But I don't want to scare you, not like God forbid dangerous, but it's like it's not one of those things where you stay friends after, or it's not one of those things where you can go back to that place and work for them again. You know what I mean? It's signed, sealed, um, delivered, and done with. But the Sun here, this is very positive. This is very positive. For those of you who want to have children, maybe you've been in a situation where you couldn't have children with someone. So if this ends with them, then you'll be able to have a child or children. Some of you, it's about that. It's like destiny of wanting to be a parent, and needing to leave a situation that doesn't allow you to do so. That's for very few of you, because it's very specific. Okay, very cool. Everything is right here. Good luck. I love you. I'll see you soon.